it is applied, and Rasulullah did that once for each part, and he did twice for each part, and he did thrice for each part. And the first hadith was narrated by Ibn Abbas. He explained that Rasulullah washed each part during the wudu one time. And the second hadith was narrated by Abdullah ibn Zayd al-Ansari radiallahu anhu. He said the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam performed ablution by washing the body parts twice. The last hadith was narrated by Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu. And this hadith, it was the second hadith in Bulugh al-Maram for the fiqh, because Uthman ibn Affan, like more of the Sahaba, oftenly they teach the people by doing the deeds. And they say, we saw the Prophet ﷺ did that. We saw Rasulullah ordering the people to do that. And this hadith, Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu, he said, and this is narrated by the slave of Uthman radiallahu anhu, he said, I saw Uthman ibn Affan asking for a tumble of water. Now, the slave of Uthman ibn Affan, he's narrating what he saw Uthman ibn Affan do. And that's what the Sahaba did when they narrate the hadith from the Prophet ﷺ. They saw the Prophet ﷺ doing something, or they heard him ﷺ saying something. So they narrated that to us so we can learn. Because if we take the hadith from the beginning to the end, and we try to understand, the hadith ﷺ said, pray as you saw me praying. Did we saw him? We didn't see him ﷺ praying. But the Sahaba saw the Prophet ﷺ praying, and they narrated and related that to us so we understand how he ﷺ was doing things. And now in this hadith, Humran, the slave of Uthman ibn Affan, narrated saying that I saw Uthman ibn Affan radiallahu anhu asking for a tumble of water, and when it was brought, he poured water over his hands and washed them thrice, and then put his right hand in the water container and rinsed his mouth, washed his nose by putting water in it and then blowing it out. Then he washed his face and forearms up to the elbows thrice, passed his wet hands over his head, and washed his feet up to the ankle thrice. Then he said, Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if anyone perform ablution like that of mine and offers a 2 rak'at salat prayer during which he does not think of anything else, then his past sin will be forgiven. Now, this is a beautiful thing. Now, we try always as hard to purify ourselves. You sit sometime with yourself. There is a moment that comes to the Muslim that he feels that he needs to clear himself from his sins. And then his mind boosts around. What should I do to get those sins cleared? And then he starts thinking of the heaviest thing that he can do so he can make sure that his sins are forgiven. Meanwhile, there are few ways, are very light. If you do them, then your sin will be forgiven. One of them, when you make a wudu, thinking of nothing else but getting close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at that moment, and you make it perfect. Just the way the Prophet ﷺ did it. And then you pray 2 rak'ah. You see how short is that? Some people will stay all the night praying, and yet they're not sure. Their heart is in doubt.